Welcome to Coffee with Hakime. Today, we delve into a case of the DeLisle children. In the early 1980s, New Orleans was a vibrant city filled with life, culture, and a sense of community. Among its many families was the DeLisle family, who lived a seemingly ordinary life in a quiet neighborhood. However, in 1982, that ordinary life was shattered by an unimaginable tragedy that would resonate throughout the community for years to come. This is the heartbreaking story of Anna and Christopher DeLisle, two young children whose disappearance and tragic fate sparked outrage and sorrow in their hometown. The DeLisle family. Greg and Linda DeLisle were a loving couple dedicated to providing a nurturing home for their children, Anna, age 7, and Christopher, age 5. The family was known for their close-knit relationships and frequent neighborhood gatherings. Anna was a bright, imaginative girl who loved to draw and play dress-up, while Christopher was an adventurous boy with a fascination for dinosaurs and superheroes. Together, they were inseparable, often found playing in their yard or exploring the nearby park. On May 24, 1982, a warm, sunny afternoon, the children were excited to play outside after school. Linda, their mother, allowed them to play in the yard while she prepared dinner, trusting that they were safe within the confines of their familiar environment. Little did she know that this day would change their lives forever. The disappearance. As the sun began to set, Linda called for Anna and Christopher to come inside. When they didn't respond, her heart began to race. She stepped outside, calling their names, but the only answer was the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. Minutes turned into hours as she searched the neighborhood, asking neighbors if they had seen her children. Panic set in when no one had seen them since that afternoon. By nightfall, Linda and Greg contacted the local authorities, and a search was initiated. The police arrived quickly and soon. Neighbors joined in the effort, combing the area for any sign of the missing children. Flyers were printed and word spread throughout the community, urging anyone with information to come forward. Local news stations began covering the story, bringing attention to the desperate search for Anna and Christopher. The community response. As days turned into a week, the search for the DeLisle children intensified. Volunteers from all over the city came to help, motivated by the hope of finding the children safe and sound. Search dogs were deployed, and teams scoured nearby parks, wooded areas, and abandoned buildings. The community was united in their efforts, organizing candlelight vigils and prayer gatherings, hoping for a miracle. Despite the extensive search efforts, there were no leads. The children seemed to have vanished without a trace, leaving their family and the community in a state of despair. Linda and Greg faced harrowing media scrutiny as they desperately pleaded for the safe return of their children, their grief palpable in every interview. The discovery. On June 10, 1982, nearly 3 weeks after their disappearance, tragedy struck. A group of volunteers searching a wooded area on the outskirts of town made a horrifying discovery: the bodies of Anna and Christopher DeLisle. The news sent shockwaves through the community, and the heartbreak was profound. The children had been abducted, and their deaths were ruled a homicide. Investigators quickly began piecing together the details surrounding the abduction, interviewing anyone who might have seen or heard something during the time the children went missing. The community was gripped with fear as they realized the danger that had lurked in their neighborhood. The investigation revealed that Anna and Christopher had been lured away from their home. Authorities traced their last known movements, interviewing friends and neighbors, but leads were scarce. As the case unfolded, the police received tips that led them to suspect several individuals, but each lead turned cold. The community was rife with speculation, and fear began to settle in. Parents were terrified to let their children play outside, and the once vibrant neighborhood felt stifled by the shadow of the tragedy. The investigation became a focal point in the media, with nightly news segments covering every development in the case. The arrest and trial. Months passed, and the investigation seemed to stall. Then, in late 1982, a breakthrough occurred. A local man with a history of criminal behavior was arrested on unrelated charges. During questioning, he made a series of disturbing confessions that linked him to the DeLisle case. The man, whose name was later revealed to be Paul Smith, had been living in the area at the time of the children's disappearance. His erratic behavior and past offenses raised red flags, and investigators worked tirelessly to gather evidence against him. Smith was charged with the abduction and murder of Anna and Christopher DeLisle. The trial began in 1983, attracting significant media attention. The courtroom was filled with family members, friends, and community members seeking justice for the DeLisle children. Testimonies revealed the harrowing details of the children's last moments and the impact of their loss on the community. The verdict and aftermath. After a lengthy trial filled with emotional testimonies, Paul Smith was found guilty of the abduction and murder of Anna and Christopher DeLisle. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The verdict brought a sense of closure to the DeLisle family, but the pain of their loss would linger forever. The tragedy of Anna and Christopher DeLisle left an indelible mark on the community of New Orleans. In the aftermath, many families took steps to increase awareness about child safety, emphasizing the importance of vigilance and communication. Schools implemented programs to educate children about the dangers of strangers, and neighborhood watch groups were formed to foster a sense of security. Legacy of the DeLisle case. The DeLisle case became a cautionary tale, reminding parents everywhere of the importance of being aware of their children's surroundings. Anna and Christopher's story was shared in local schools, helping to educate children about safety and the importance of trusting their instincts. In the years that followed, the DeLisle family worked to honor their children's memory by advocating for child safety initiatives and supporting organizations dedicated to preventing abductions. Their pain transformed into a mission to protect other children, ensuring that Anna and Christopher would not be forgotten. Conclusion. The tragic case of the DeLisle children serves as a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the deep impact of loss on families and communities. While Anna and Christopher's lives were cut short, their legacy lives on through the lessons learned and the changes made in the community to protect children. Their story is not just one of sorrow, but also one of resilience and the enduring spirit of a community that came together in the face of unimaginable tragedy. In remembering Anna and Christopher, we are reminded of the importance of vigilance, love, and the need to cherish every moment with our loved ones.